I used to just be on bike all day long back in the day, had nothing else to do really, and just ride around all day. It's probably like a bit of a sense of like nostalgia. Yeah, it just reminds me of just being young, kind of like free. Just, I guess it just kind of brings that feeling back. I'm always thinking about the past, in a good way, but in such a good way that I even miss the pain. That's why I even try and tell people like, just embrace the struggle, bro, because one day it's gonna be done. I look back on them times and actually somehow miss them still. But yeah, I miss everything.
3 days of pain, the rest is easy. So it takes about 3 days to shift the biological mechanisms to make you a morning person. Now, if you are a very strongly genetically determined night owl.
That's a thing?
That's a thing. So there are genetic mutations, they call them polymorphisms, that make some people night owls. They feel best psychologically and physically going to sleep at about 1, 2, or 3 a.m. and waking up somewhere around 10, 11 a.m. or noon. That exists. Not just during development or teen years, but that exists. Not just for social reasons. Other people are true morning people. They feel absolutely best going to sleep around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. 10 p.m. will be late for them, and they feel great waking up at 4, 5, or 6 a.m.
You learn things painfully. When you learn something painfully, a part of you has to die. That's the pain. When a dream is shattered, for example, a huge part of you that constituted that dream, maybe even the biological substrate of that dream, has to be stripped away and burned. Life is a constant process of death and rebirth. And to participate in that fully is to allow yourself to be redeemed by it. And so the good is that process of death and rebirth, voluntarily undertaken. It's like you're not as good as you could be, so you let that part of you die. And if someone comes along and says, there's some dead wood here, man, it needs to be burned off. You think, well, that stuff's still a bit alive. When that burns, it's gonna hurt. It's like, yeah, well, no kidding. But maybe the thing that emerges in its place is something better. And I think this is the secret of human beings. This is what we're like.
But I woke up and I said, maybe the illusion is the pain. Maybe the illusion is the pain. Maybe the mental anguish I feel, maybe the challenge of life, maybe that's the illusion, right? Because we hear so much about how, the pleasures are the illusions. Now dopamine's a real thing, and chasing dopamine is a real thing. At its extremes, it can be addiction. At its less extremes, it can be compulsions, and it can also be a joyful life. But I was thinking to myself, maybe pain is the illusion, right? Maybe the idea that there's all this challenge and maybe that's the thing that we're supposed to remove.
How about pain? Why is it the most real? Try arguing it away. Good luck. So pain is the fundamental reality. All right. Well, that's rough. Doesn't that lead to nihilism and hopelessness? Yeah, doesn't it lead to a philosophy that's antithetical towards being? The most fundamental reality is pain. Yes. Is there anything more fundamental than pain? Well, it's a tough one, right? Because you have to. Because if you're a scientist, a materialist, think, well, the matter is the most real. It's like, well, you don't know what the matter is.
Yeah.
And then when push comes to shove, and it will, you'll find out what's most real.
Some slaves said, I don't care what we go through, we're gonna survive this. 400 years of slavery, we're gonna get through this. And you can't get through it 1825. You can't get through a writing class, and you got tutor after tutor, resource after resource. The problem is, you ain't never felt no pain before, you're soft. It's a soft generation. You quit on everything. Our people did not quit. Harriet Tubman not only made it, she went back and got some more. She said, you know what, I made it, but I'm gonna walk listen to me, shh, not ride the bus. I'm gonna walk all the way back down to the south to get some more. And you quitting on 1825? And one of the things I tell people is, I outlasted the pain. I outlasted the pain. When I was sleeping in those abandoned buildings, I kept telling myself, one day you'll be a homeowner. Every time I walked into that abandoned building, I told myself, that this might be your current circumstances, but this will not be how the story ends. All you have to do, E.T., is to survive today. To survive today. When they kicked me out of school, I knew that I would not be a high school dropout for the rest of my life. I knew I got to get through this one day. For those of you who didn't meet my mom last year, me and my mom been through a lot. My mom and I have gone months and almost years of not talking to each other, but every single day I kept telling myself, one day I'll have a great relationship with my mom again. One day.
Accept the pain, smile at the pain, embrace the pain. Pain is the gatekeeper of destiny. Pain is there to ask you one simple question. Do you really want to achieve your goals, or are you just a talker?
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever. Listen to me, I'm telling you as I leave. I was homeless for 2.5 years. And the problem with most of you never felt no pain before. Y'all spoiled. Some of y'all spoiled, just bottom line. Your parents have done everything for you. You never had to do nothing for yourself. You're spoiled. We're gonna keep it real tonight. Some of you are spoiled brats. Every time you ever got in trouble, somebody in your house got you out of it. Every time you done something you're not supposed to do, people say, Eric, your mother's a tyrant. You're right. She kicked me out. You're right. She's mean, but she developed a man because she put me out there and said, you're gonna have to grow up. And some of you have never learned to grow up. And so every time something get hard, you quit, you call mama. I dare you to take a little pain.
For a long time, I thought in some real sense that there was no more fundamental reality than pain. And there's an ethical dimension to that too, because if you accept the reality of pain, there seems to come with it an impetus to eliminate unnecessary pain. And to some degree, we can understand that as the basis of the moral impulse, and maybe to eliminate the unnecessary pain of the innocent, like the unnecessary pain of children, for example. And so, well, we accept the existence of pain.
Because you pushed me out of good and you forced me into greatness. I was gonna stay at those jobs. I would still be there today. I wouldn't be in Egypt. I've been to Egypt. I got an invite to Australia. I'm coming to the UK. I got a bestseller. I'm coming out with a clothing line. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Your boy E.T., I used the pain to push me to greatness. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. And if you can get through it, if you can work through your pain, if you can work through your pain, I'm guaranteeing you on the other side is a reward. Pain is not permanent. Pain is temporary.
I wanted to run, I couldn't. I wanted to run, I couldn't. I looked at her and said, hey, you won. I couldn't chase her. And I stopped, I went, what are you doing? Like, I just couldn't. I'm not even joking, Stephen. She ran and I just couldn't move. What are you doing? That's when I knew I couldn't handle pain anymore. Because this is what it is. People forget about anything that you can think of. You need to love pain to be an athlete. And I know, no pain, no this, whatever, all the, oh my, no, this is real. You need to love pain. However, mentally, physically, love it. You need to love it. If not, stay where you are.
One day is going to be E.T.'s day, but that day can't come if I give up today. So every single day when I woke up, I kept telling myself, today might not be the day, but soon it will be my day, and I will recycle my pain. So what do you mean, E.T.? You recycled the pain. I turned homelessness into a book. I turned my father not being in my life to a book. I turned an estranged relationship with my mom into a book. I turned being homeless into a book. I turned being a high school dropout into a bestseller. What will you do with your pain?
Just shut up and let me enjoy this pain. I don't want anything to numb it. I don't want anything right now. Because what I had done was I just, in my mind, and people will take this wrong and take it as wrong as you want to, I don't really care. I had just climbed a mental wall that was amazing. And I didn't want anybody to take that pain away from me at that point, because that was all confirmation.
So at those times where you're questioning if you have anything left, no, a day from then, a week from then, a month from then, a year from then, you will never remember the discomfort of the pain. You will always remember the pride of the accomplishment. That lives on. That's why pain is temporary. Pride is forever, guys. You give it your all, you get it all. Tenfold.
It's a practice that you have to, it's a habit. So if you know that at 40% I'm feeling pain. At 40% I'm feeling pain. That's where the 40% rule kicks in. Now it starts. Okay, I'm feeling pain. My mind's saying all this shit to me. It's saying get out of here, run, flee. The fight or flight kicks in. Okay, we're done, we're not good enough. It starts telling you all these things. You start to believe it because the mind controls all. This is the time where you have to gain control back of your mind. And once you start giving yourself more and more hope and start realizing, okay, the mind starts to be, okay, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going right and you're going left. You start then controlling your mind. Start finding more in yourself, and then it goes from 40% to a lot further than that. But that's the start of it though. Get to the spot where your mind is saying stop. Wherever that is, you gotta get there first. And then that's when that shit starts to work for you. You gotta control yourself in that moment.
All right, everybody, you see me smiling, why? Because it kind of sucks out here in New York City. They're expecting some big push to come in, so I was kind of praying to the snow gods for worse weather to come in, because why? In worse weather, we get better. I'm kind of happy, but I was hoping to be a lot worse. I'm gonna do a nice little run today, and no, I'm not thinking it's warm and 70. I like to live in reality. It sucks. It's about 7 inches of snow, and I'm extremely ecstatic right now. Pain is just a feeling. You see it's happiness? Why? Because it sucks. That's why I'm so happy right now.
Too much to quit now. Get a reward for your pain. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for it. And guess what? People rock with me because I know what you've been through and I didn't quit. I know what you've been through and I didn't stop. I know what you've been through and I didn't whine. You know what I did? I got my reward for it. And not only did I get a reward for it, my wife got a reward for it. My kids got a reward for it. They're gonna live a different life because of what I went through. And had I quit, I would have been just like my father who left me with nothing. I'd have been just like my grandfather who quit. So I've been in circles and in families and environments where people take L's. I don't take L's no more. No more L's in my life. All we do is win, win, win.
What's wrong, man? I'm fucking tired, dude. Why are you tired? Because tomorrow, I gotta do the fucking shit again, man. Whatever the shit is that made me fucking nauseous and sick to my stomach, it made me hurt. There's no ending. And that's the person I listen to. That's the person who's gained knowledge. You gain knowledge through suffering. And on the other end of suffering is a world that very few have ever seen. It's a beautiful world because that's where you find yourself. You don't find yourself in over here. You find yourself on the other end. Like the 100-mile race I was on, I ran it for 24 hours. I found myself on the other end of that race. That 19 hours, I found, wow, there's a whole nother fucking world out here that I've never even saw. But the world's in your mind. And that's what all that mediocrity is about. Mediocrity is contagious.
Sometimes, yeah, you've got to cut a little piece of yourself off, yeah, no matter how much it hurts, in order to grow, yeah, in order to move on. Do you know what I mean? What are you having for your tea? When I'm having a steak. Oh, you can't, because I fucking love a steak, mate. What's going on outside your window? I was like, fucking hell, this guy is dope.
You know, you have a hamstring injury, you pull your hamstring really, really badly, you can barely walk, right? Let alone play anything. Soccer, basketball, volleyball, whatever it is, can't do anything. Doctor tells you go home, sit up on the couch, rest your hammy, right? Stay off of it, don't get up, no sudden movements. You're at home, all of a sudden a fire breaks out in the home. That you're gonna forget about your hamstring, you're gonna sprint upstairs, you're gonna grab your kids, you're gonna make sure your wife's good, you're getting out of that house, right? Hamstring be damned. You're not gonna feel your hamstring, right? And the reason is because the lives of your family are more important than the injury of your hamstring.
Physical pain that they put themselves through is actually their pleasure. You know, my athletes, when at the highest level of their training, it is the most uncomfortable state they put themselves through every single day. And people are just like, I'm not gonna do that. It's the people that run the ultra marathons. It's people that take these ice baths. It's, you know, it's all out there. Now that doesn't mean if you do those things you're gonna excel in other aspects of your life, but it does raise your level of understanding that nothing great is going to come without you having to deal with what I call adversity and pain tolerance.
When you're hurt, how do you feel? You lay down, right? You take a second, you take your vitamins, you do your thing. When I'm hurt, I love it. I love that feeling because it's real. That's the most realest feeling that you could ever have, is being in pain, because everything else, happiness could be fake, crying could be fake, but pain, shit, that's real. I got kicked in the leg. It hurt a little bit, but I walked it off. When I got kicked in the leg and I smiled, that was real. It did not hurt.
And if things aren't going well, boy, let me tell you something. If things aren't going well and you're looking at your team or you're looking at your peers or you're looking at your boss, you're going, what the hell's wrong with them? You're not doing it right. If things aren't going well, it's not on them. It's on you.
What? Fuck that. When the alarm goes off in the morning, you don't have to wake up. Don't wake up, don't worry about that. When you're in school, you know what, fuck that, man. It's too hard to study, so don't study. You know what? Don't eat healthy, because you don't have to. So guess what? When you fail, don't blame your mom, don't blame your dad, don't blame teachers. Only person you have to blame is yourself.
If you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. It's not discipline so much for me. It's all on you. It's all on you. The self part is what's big. We need someone to hold people accountable. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. We count on people too much to get us through shit. And we look to our right, we look to our left, we're looking for help. And if you can build that self, you can build that total accountability in oneself. And it's not about being selfish. I'm trying to create a better me, so hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way, can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 miles, doing 4th, being a city. It ain't about all that shit. Shit doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go. And that's all it's about, yourself. And that's where it all comes from.
I don't like my life. The person that I need to punish or get back at is the real person who got me here, which is me. And so you may be right that other people did certain things or you got dealt a bad hand. It also doesn't matter, because the only thing that you can control is obviously the actions that you take. And the only person who's in control of that is you. The revenge porn is thinking about what the version of you who got you here did, and then acting in the exact opposite of that as many times as you possibly can. And the pain that you feel by rejecting the thing that you used to do that got you into this bad circumstance, that's the real revenge.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this right now, but it's all on you. What I mean by that, it's all on you if you're going to take that risk on yourself. See, it's all on you if you're going to let God be at center of everything. See, it's all on you if you want to keep those bad people around. See, it's all on you if you're going to choose to stay in something that God has already rescued you from, and you're going to just double back. See, it's all on you to really go out there and believe in yourself. See, it's all on you to go out there and really hustle. See, it's all on you to decide if you want to stay or you want to move. See, it's all on you if you want to go out here and just chase your goals. It's all on you if you want to really go out here and pursue your purpose. It's all on you to stay in that environment where you're not comfortable. It's all on you to decide if you want to just feed into negativity. See, it's all on you if you really believe that you can do things. See, it's all on you, man. I'm just elaborating because God was telling me to tell somebody. See, it's all on you.
You,
for whatever reasons. It's on you. Your conscious ability to be awake and to be articulate and to be clued in and to keep nature at bay and culture straight and your own malevolence under check. Combat the unknown and to transform it into something that's good. That's what you are. And you see this reflected in the oldest stories. That's the dragon myth, you know? You go out into the terrible unknown, beyond what we understand, into the unknown itself. And you confront the terrible thing that rests there. The terrible predatory, eternal predatory monster. And you can do that because that's what you're like. You're not cowering at home. You're not frozen into submission. You're out there active and you can take it on. And as a consequence, you can attain something of substantive value.
I'll be like, bro, I haven't uploaded yet, so I gotta upload today. Boom, I'm uploading. Bro, no exaggeration, I have reorganized literally everything in my life.
They raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning. And here's what I will share with you, that in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process of doing that, you will discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now.
This isn't the real me. I lied to you about that. I wanted your acceptance in life. All those things happen, but the thing about it is that we get judged so quickly by who we are. We don't know, we don't go to where it happened. You know, life created this person, me. Life created me to be this person that I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where the shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you.
There is a period in everybody's journey where they are so different because they've started to do new things that they no longer fit in with their old set of friends, but they're not sufficiently developed that they've gained their new set of friends, and they're unsure. Should I go back? Should I lean back into getting a bag in with the boys on a weekend? Is that the highest, way that I can live my life passion forward? Because that's what everybody else does. And all of my friends are taking the piss. Oh, not drinking again. Too good for us, are we? Not going out again this week. Oh, okay, well, enjoy staying in home and reading. Fucking nerd. So you're going to feel the pain of being ostracized from the group of friends that you used to have. But you're stuck in this messy middle where you haven't yet worked out who you are on the other side of this. And that lonely chapter that's in the middle is something that I would say almost nobody that I've ever met who has gone from a place where they are to a place where they want to be hasn't gone through.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
There's times where you can go without your friends, you can go without going out, you can go without other people around you. Okay? Going without eating, going without this, going without that. So what you do is you have to make that start. You have to separate yourself from the pack. You have to be willing to spend time with yourself. You have to be willing to start cutting things out of your nutritional program. Eat healthy. Get enough rest, get enough sleep. All of these things come into play of finding your purpose. And it's almost sacrificing. You have to sacrifice. Greater the sacrifice, greater the reward. This is so.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
But they're getting something from it. And that is evolution. You must continue to evolve. And you don't evolve, for me, in my job, unless I cap myself somewhere and say, okay, you made this much money, get back to fucking work. it's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from. So for me, I must cap myself so I can come back with better, more unique knowledge.
Shut up and go work. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? Save your bread and invest in things. I don't come from a place of like spend money. I want to live fly. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I need to get this bread fast money. No, I know about hard build brick by brick money. That's what I try to teach people, because that's life. That's life. All these rappers and these flamboyant ass creators, they put a false image to people. That's not reality for real. It's reality now.
So they zoom into that chart of their life, the up and down, and all they see is down right now. But if they work really, really hard, they can change the trajectory just a little bit, and they look up after a few years and like, oh, I'm gonna land in San Francisco. I'm gonna be in a higher place.
Then I was like, man, all I gotta do is work at it. That's it. Every single day, work at it. So that's where it started, and every day since. I mean, it's been a struggle some days, I won't lie. Some days I'm like, man, this is tiring, this is hard. Now I embrace the hard, and I want that every single day. I don't ever want anything to be easy. I think whenever it's hard, like, you really, really, really deserved it. If it's hard and you get it done, you gave everything to it, that's yours. Nobody can take that from you.
Put your head down, is work harder. That's the answer to all the problems, work harder. If you feel like things ain't going your way, if you feel like, you're not executing to the best of your ability, work harder and be smarter about it. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone gets a trophy in here, bro. You know what I'm saying? The world doesn't owe you nothing, and people shouldn't feel sorry for you. You gotta, as an individual that wants to be successful, you gotta be the person that take matters into your own hands and go get it, period.
You know what pissed me off, man? The word caution here, that we need to be apologetic. I'm sorry for the construction site and how this looks. This might not be appealing to your eyes as you come to work out here. And we need to apologize for the transformation of something that one day they're going to thank you for. They're going to thank you for the great establishment here, the open space. But before that happens, we have to say under construction, it's closed, I'm sorry. It's caution. Bullshit. It's courageous. Because no one does it. Everyone sits by in what is. Everyone is just doing the normal. Everyone wants this to be great, but no one wants to put the work into it. So they're just a fucking wannabe. No one wants to be more than that, because a wannabe into a wannabe more calls effort, action, to do something with your life.
People be asking me, hey man, how you get your aura up? Bro, work on you, that's how. Become your best self. You're not gonna have no aura being regular. No one's gonna respect you when you're regular. I'm just being honest with you. Because what's gonna make someone look at you and be like, damn, you're not gonna get that being regular. You're just like everybody else. You blend in. You don't wanna blend in. From your fitness, from your intelligence, from your emotional intelligence, from your work ethic, from how you carry yourself, from how you articulate yourself, all this stuff matters.
After I paid my dad's house off, he's like, I had this goal, I didn't hit it or whatever. I said, don't worry. I said, there's been many periods in my life that I've had internal growth, which was this: work, no results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, no results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, no results, I'm a little bit better. Work, boom, just got paid. It just got paid, and it looks like overnight success. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, it happened in a year. No, bro, it doesn't. Because if you do all those things, even if nothing happens and you know you're doing the right thing and you're on track, overnight success becomes this easy thing because you were internally growing, and then the bubble popped, and then boom, it looks like you were doing it all along.
You gotta keep working. Your time's gonna come, trust me, yada, yada, yada. Booz, Joe Kim, D-Rose, everybody's like, you gotta work. Your time is gonna happen. You're here for a reason, but you gotta be ready, because if you're not, it's on you. Yeah. So as much as it was Tibbs, it was even more my teammates at the time that taught me you gotta work no matter what. So, a lot of props, and it gotta be said about them. They kept me in it.
Hard work looks horrible. It's not motivating. It's not motivating at all. It ain't like Rocky round 14, he gets knocked down and goes like this to Apollo Creed. It looks like a man being stuck in a fucking dungeon. and there's no fucking way out. But you have the fucking key. But you refuse to use it. And that's nothing motivating about that. So yes, no documentary on David Goggins.
While you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you'll realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose and I will win.
Bro, this is not that fucking hard. It's just hard to do. There is no secret. There is no quick fix. There is no hack. There is no path of least resistance. The quickest way for you to go from where the fuck you are to where you want to be is that shit you're trying to avoid doing. And not only is it the fastest way, it's the only way in most cases to get where you're trying to go. I must work hard. I must have failures so I develop skills. And I must not quit so I can continue to push forward as other people fall off the game.
And I know the sacrifices that went along with standing here today. And we're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger.
Ignore and outperform them. You see, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose and I will win.
I'm comfortable with the understanding of hard work brings great rewards. This is a reminder of the hard work and dedication that I put into everything that I've done. I'm not content because I know where I came from and I don't ever want to go back. That doesn't mean I don't want to go back to the city. That doesn't mean I want to go back to the people. That means I don't want to go back to living like I once was. I want to go back and I want to help. I want to inspire, I want to motivate. I want to show people that there is a way out, that there is a way to do more, to get more, to attain more.
The real key is you've got to learn to compartmentalize. So what I do to begin my compartmentalization is I create a list of all the important things that I should be working on. I put that list in order. This is very important. Getting good at prioritizing is an art form. It is critically important that you get good at that art form. And as you begin to break things down and put them in order, now you can tell yourself, this is what I should be working on right now. So rather than trying to digest all the different things that have to be done, it's I'm focused on this one thing right now.
I tell my son all the time, I'm like, Ink, it's a big difference between a hard worker and somebody that works hard, right? Most cats are somebody that works hard. If the situation and the circumstance is what they want it to be, they're gonna come out and they're gonna act accordingly and they're gonna give you everything they got. But a hard worker, regardless of situation, regardless of circumstance, regardless of what happened, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna give everything I got to it because I'm working for something that's totally different, right? The question becomes this: can you be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what you're doing?
Believe. I think you should believe in it, in everything, and of course the rest. It's the dedication, the hard work. Listen to the people who know more than you, who they have more experience than you, and believe in your talent. I think it's the main point.
My drug of choice
is how I feel about myself when I'm by myself. Like, nobody knows how hard I work. Not even my wife is up enough to see how much I really work.
Right.
But it doesn't matter, because the way that it makes me feel, like in this moment right now, where I get to say, the world doesn't know, I could be lying, but I would know. And the way that I feel right now, because I know how true it is, that nobody's outworking me.
Can you be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what you're doing? In other words, if you don't get what you thought you was gonna get, will you still be the same individual? If the situation don't turn out the way you thought it would turn out, will you still be the same individual? The quote says it, you judge the character of a man not by where he stands in times of comfort and convenience. You judge the character of a man by where he stands in times of challenge and controversy.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
God gave me everything. This would not have been possible without the Spirit. I want to go ahead and give a message to the children. Believe in yourself. Don't fear failure. Dream big. Work hard. Stay positive. Enjoy the journey.
Listen to me, if you wake up in the morning and it kills you to get in the shower and put your clothes on, get in that car and drive to your job, you hate it so bad, get out. You are in the wrong place. You don't belong there. Man, you know it. You know you don't belong there. You're just scared to make that move. Life is very short. Way too short to be miserable and get up and drive to a miserable job that you hate every day. Get up and go out. As long as you know what you want to do, you wake up every day grinding and just working toward that goal.
How many times do you have to hear, if nothing changes, nothing changes? Right? We all have heard this. I don't even know where it comes from. I probably heard that first when I was 10 years old. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet somehow we expect things to change. We expect things to change. You think you're gonna get in better shape. You think you're gonna get more money. You think your relationship is gonna improve. You think you're gonna get promoted. You think you're gonna get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything, but it isn't. Nothing is going to change unless you change what you're doing.
If you can get yourself to love to do the stuff you hate to do, then there's no limit to the success you can have in your life. If you can take the things that you're afraid you'd have to do to succeed in your business or to succeed in your life or to succeed in your relationship, there are things everybody doesn't want to do. And the more focused you are on how you're not going to do that, the more life seems to bring those things up for you and makes them barriers.
Hey, look, let me guess, new year, new you, right? New year, new you. You've been saying that every year, but it's always new year, same you. You know, I just don't understand why you go every year remaining the same when the person that you are today has just been destroying your life. You're mentally killing yourself every year and you don't even realize it. I mean, it's time for you to look yourself in the mirror and make some change before it's too late. But if you cool being like that, it is what it is. It's your life. Be safe though. Why is that to be a certain time of the year for you to start changing your life, bro? Why is that to be a certain time of the year if you go to the gym? Why is that to be a certain time of the year to fucking do the business? Why is that to be a certain time of the year to go study real estate? Why can't you do it today?
In life, folks, you cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. No matter what it is. Many times you say to yourself, I gotta lose weight, I'm too fat. And then you know what? During the day you eat at night, and then next day you get mad at yourself. Well, what do you want? What do you want? You gotta change something. Well, you know, a lot of actors, you know, I don't want to go see that. You know, they feel funny. They don't want to see a director or see people. I go, no, you gotta try. You gotta get out there. You gotta fake it till you make it. Do something.
Change the time that you wake up. Change what you do when you get out of bed. Change what you do with your time. You have to change some things or nothing will change. So make changes and start little. Get up a little bit earlier, get a workout done. It doesn't have to be epic. It doesn't have to be epic. You don't have to do a 3-hour leg day, but get up and get something done. How about you plan what you're gonna do in the day? How about you bring your lunch to work with you so you don't have to eat a slice of pizza or a damn burger and fries? How about you change what time you get to work by showing up 10 minutes earlier? And you square your gear away, or you dial in your tools, or your desk, or your workspace.
Yeah, it's different every time. I gotta dig, I gotta understand the person, because everybody has a different model of the world. Like some people's expectations, their belief systems are, life should be taking care of me. I gotta show people that life is calling to you. You need to deliver something to life, because as long as you're waiting for somebody to take care of you, then you're always the victim, you're always waiting. Whereas if you think that I'm here to deliver something to life, I have a responsibility to life to give something, not just get something.
Once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything. And I find it fascinating. I'm fascinated because I'll be in these moments. I put these guys on some fucking pedestal.
Yeah.
And I was this guy who was a piece of shit looking at these, my God, how are you guys this amazing? But once I worked my way up there, I said, my God, man.
That's what you need to do. You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them, those bad habits, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised the little things, the little changes, they add up and they become big things. Change the little things and over time, you can change your life. But if you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.